Today is Thursday, February the 24th, 2022. I am sitting upon this throne at the Shaker Run Circle, most likely for my final drop down. Yeah, this is likely my final drop down at this drop zone upon this white porcelain throne in this Lulu, woo 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 woo. And I am grateful, and I am aware that we almost died in this house a few times. And I'm aware that things didn't go the way I thought they would. And I accept that. I still have something to look forward to because I created that. If it wasn't for something to look forward to, another activity, then we would all be dead. Because immobility of body very quickly will lead to immobility of thought and spirit. So this concept of synchronicity, I like to apply not just to unexplained events that match up in my environment, but also to my body and my mind and my soul working together in alignment, connected for the same purpose. When there is a situation, an earth situation, where you interacted with an earthling, that can affect how you perceive your mind, your body, and your soul. It can affect it negatively or positively. The important aspect is this. Is the negative effect, is that really true? Is that positive effect, is that really true? So the authenticity of your interactions with earthlings is going to determine whether or not that interaction was valuable. This means that if someone's been lying to you and not being honest and truthful, and they're a deceitful person, you have not missed out on anything positive in your life occurring by removing yourself from the presence of those types of people. You will not harm yourself. Oh no. You most definitely won't. You can't narcissist upon yourself as good as somebody else could, and you are not able to sadist upon yourself. You can masochist. You can allow someone to masochist you, let you be masochistified, but nobody can hurt you unless you assign them the status. What is their status in your life? Are they an authority figure? And if so, how? Are they an authority figure that controls your resources for ozone, water, food, shelter, clothing, medical insurance, transportation, car insurance payment, rent payment, water bill, cable bill, cell phone bill, garbage collection bill, home insurance bill, home renter's bill? How about for that orthodontic bill? Most likely, these people that we allow to affect us negatively are not significant to our survival. And so when you can be able to value what is objective, ozone, water, food, shelter, clothing, foot protection, closed-toed shoes, sun block, eye protection. Then you can be able to say, hey, those things that I just listed, those are necessary for survival, pretty much in descending order, right? With the most important being at the top, ozone. And how is this person going to affect my ability to procure these resources? That's what it comes down to. I believe that is the proper mindset for an adult Homo sapien, or for an adolescent Homo sapien, or for the growing Homo sapien, the school-age child, the toddler Homo sapien. I believe that these concepts of ozone, H2O, should be a part of the vocabulary introduced to the new human that is learning to be vocal. When you put in the appropriate sounds, you can have the appropriate responses. Now, what if the sounds you put in are negative? Well, then you're going to have the appropriate correlating negative effects of that sound onto your psyche. And that's optional. Optional. Because some people are not going to be affected by the same triggers as others. However, we all need ozone, and we all need to drink water, and we all need to eat. And if you just keep it right there and just keep it real simple, you'll find you can walk away from an uncomfortable emotional state of yours. You can walk away from feelings of suicide if you could take the time, oh my God, to ace yourself. To ace yourself, that's what the United States Air Force taught me. A to the C to the E. You need to go ace yourself. That's not how they told us in the briefing. They were professional. But this is how I'm remembering it and how I use it in my head. That information, the scholastic information, the academia that was presented to me by the United States Air Force. What I learned from that in my own words. And that's what learning is. Learning is not the regurgitation. Learning is not the regurgitation of facts. Learning is not a perfect memory. Learning is being able to look at your current situation and be able to organize it better in congruence with natural law and order. And this means that when you are aiming to be in alignment or in congruence with natural law and order, that means you are respecting and honoring the G-force. What is the G-force? The force of gravity. It is the concept of Sir Isaac Newton that he introduced with the apple falling from the tree. When you can honor that phenomenon, hey, that's a reality. You jump off that bridge, the G-force is going to get you. That's someone explaining or pointing out, if you jump off that bridge, the natural forces of gravity are going to kill you. Because gravity exists, that's what keeps you grounded on this planet so you don't float away into space. So when you respect that concept right there, that's God enough. That's all you need for God. Everything else is just bells and whistles. What kind of frosting you want? You want a latte, soy latte, hot, mocha latte milk, lactose-free goat milk latte? Ready, coming right up. So you don't need a lot of things as a person, as a human being, except to organize the information, the stimulus, the environment around you, so you are not exploited by your environment. And the reason is some humans don't want to secure their own oxygen. Some humans don't want to secure their own water. Some humans do not want to secure their own food. Some people get angry if they have to spend their own money at the grocery store. And you have to realize that this happens in the world. And you don't have to go out on a mission to convince people, hey, that's a good thing that you're spending your own money at the grocery store and not waiting for public assistance to feed you because you have no other way to procure groceries. And so already we have a great division in how people are going to contemplate, just based off of that alone. How do you procure your ozone? What do you do with your ozone? How do you procure H2O, and what do you do with that H2O? How do you procure your nutrition, and which ways do you prepare it, and how do you receive that nutrition? So just basic needs. And when you can realize this person is not contributing to any of my basic needs in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, that means they don't care about you having your basic needs met. And that means they don't care about you. I focus on the physiological aspect of the human experience when the psychological aspects of the human experience are not what they should be, or what I thought they could have been, or what they might have been. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, might've, oughta. All those shoulda, coulda, woulda's. If you're in a situation where you're finding your thoughts to be circulating around the themes of shoulda, coulda, I should have done this, I could have done that, oh man, I would do this now, then you have to realize that energy, that interaction with the earthling was not an earthling that was wanting to see you continue to be successful with securing ozone. That was an individual that was not wanting to see you continue to be successful with procuring your own H2O. And that's an individual that's not going to be concerned with whether or not you're successful with procuring your own sustenance for you. And how about if you have children? I have 3. And we all know if someone is a single parent and they have no living relatives and no friends, and if something happens to that mom, that's going to be a very challenging time for those 3 young people left behind on the planet. Yeah. So be careful how you treat other people. You are not the only person in the universe, and neither am I. How you treat others, how you regard them, it matters. I'm not the one watching the universe. People that survey might start to believe they are God after a while, might enjoy looking at, manipulating at, leering at, jeering at, and taking jabs at those that they look upon. Now, we already know there's no such thing as spying going on in the United States of America. That does not exist. iPhones are surveillance equipment devices that also function as cell phones, your banking account access, your place to cash your checks, and also record some voice notes or, whatever else you can find on an app. Maybe play a game, Bubble Pop. It's up to you. However, without a good example of how to behave, you're going to do things the trial and error way because that is human nature. There are different ways of learning. You can learn from being taught and tested on the concepts and applying that knowledge. And then there's the other way of learning called trial and error. I believe that people who are expressing what's going to happen with 5G technology advancing more than people's midbrains and their ability to regulate their own emotional states. I believe if you're asking that question and you seriously don't know, you are someone that is experienced only in trial and error learning technique. And that means you're going to fail more than you succeed. And rather than me fail alongside people that don't know what they're doing, I believe it's important to speak up and just illuminate the concept of you know better and you can do better. No excuses, dude. What do you imagine might happen when you allow anybody the ability of how old are you? How many years old are you? Okay, if you're 10 years old in the United States of America, you're going to be different from a 10-year-old that's growing up in Laos or in Guatemala or in Myanmar or in Taiwan. Okay? You're going to be different. This goes back to the concept of not everything is for everybody because not every brain is on the same page. How do we get our brains in alignment? That occurs when you can identify a common goal for everyone to work towards and focus upon and be able to see progress with. The constant complaining of the same regurgitation of information. The only thing new about Corona is how many more people died or what we're going to call it now. We must change your focus, people, from wah to breastfeeding now. Hi, I'm Captain Mooney, and I'm going to speak on behalf of the World Health Organization to encourage everyone in the world to breastfeed a human today. If you are a lactating female and you're lactating on your baby, feel free to let others lactate upon you via a 30cc medicine cup. Sell it for $250 a shot. One shot, once a day, by mouth for 30 days. Then let me know what your death rate is after that. You know, it's a better idea. Do another group. One shot every day, 30 cc's human breast milk for 60 days. Then get another group. Same. One shot, 30 cc's human breast milk once a day for 90 days. Take those three groups of people from a common geographic location so you can see, almost like a triangle. Go to the world map. Go to the United States of America first. Pay attention to ourselves first. Identify what are the 3 major areas in America that are not surviving this flu. And what can we do to intervene besides the same thing over and over again, which is deliver vaccines, make a vaccine, make a vaccine. Okay, duly noted. I am not telling you that vaccines suck. Please do not believe that, because that's not entirely true. All right, vaccinations have saved people from the iron lung machine, and most likely a lot of people may not know that term, nor are a lot of people going to be familiar with Iron Man. So once again, this refers back to the importance of standardized programming for news information. News information as far as world news, events, political news, community information, what's going on in your local community. Musical news, that was MTV and VH1 and Black Entertainment Television. Where is my MTV? Where's my VH1 pop-up video? Where is my MTV? Where is my pop-up video? I want my MTV. I want my evening news. I want my MTV. I want standardized world report. You can choose from 3 different broadcasters. You know, this plethora of unauthorized folks getting up there and saying, hey, I'm from CNN. Look at me. Blah, 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 blah. And what I see are people that do not have the education to develop or have any clue of foresight as far as how to problem solve. With the 3-year-old continuing constant chatter of vaccine corona, you're not making any progress. You are spinning your wheels, World Health Organization. And that is why I, Captain Mooney, recommend breastfeed. Everybody in the world, if you are lactating, keep on keeping on. Don't stop, don't quit it, don't you, now's the time, keep it up. It's all about supply and demand with breastfeeding. I encourage people to be exploratory in their scientific studies concerning the eradication of pestilence from the earth. Let us utilize every resource possible to fight this battle. And that's going to be not always outside of us. You have everything you need to be successful on this planet already. You have already been gifted those skills. Your job as a Homo sapien or as a human is to cultivate what is useful about you that you can contribute for the goodwill of all creatures. That's your job as a human. So I believe it's important to remember, think outside the box, especially if you're a scientific explorer. If you're a scientific explorer, you mean you're a scientist? That means you want to explore new horizons. Don't forget about your own horizon. What about the female habitus? What's on the horizon of the female habitus that's so very valuable? That's going to be the mammary glands. They produce the milk which delivers the antibodies already ready to fight infection. I survived A and B flu in 2008 while deployed to Iraq. I believe that's why I'm fine. I was also breastfed. I have a theory that if someone was to induce lactation upon my mammary glands via administration of prolactin, that's the hormone that is associated with making that milk. I wonder what would be the contents, immunoglobulin contents of breast milk from a specimen such as myself with my history of pathologies that I have conquered as compared to someone in a different part of the world that has conquered other pathologies. And I hope that people could use just that alone as a jump off point to lead into other areas of possibilities for combating the pestilence of Omicron, formerly known as Corona, formerly known as COVID-19, formerly known as COVID, formerly known as SARS, Systemic Adult Respiratory Syndrome, or Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, that ends up being a systemic problem and killing the person because the infection does not stay in the upper airways. It develops stronger and it grows roots in the lungs, and then it goes to the whole body. And that's how Corona, the flu, the COVID-19, the Omicron kills. It kills you by keeping your body in that inflammatory response state. How about instead of we have already medications that we use, steroids primarily, to decrease someone's ability to have their own immune system attack them. This is known already. For example, people that get organ transplants, they have to go on immunosuppressants for the rest of their life because their body will otherwise say, hey, that tissue is not from us. We're going to have to get rid of you. What if we combated Corona with the approach of breast milking, 30, 60, 90, 369 them, 30 cc's, 30 days, 30 cc's, 60 days, 30 cc's, 90 days. Let me see what's going on in this triangle, this triad. You got the Bermuda Triangle. I got a Corona Triangle I've identified on this epidemiology map. That was my favorite topic to learn about in microbiology, was epidemiology. My professor was Professor Jonathan Shin from Honolulu Community College. And he was one of the most intelligent and amazing professors ever. He was the Mac Daddy of that science lab, and he was the bomb dot diggity, my big brother from another mother, my sentimental lover for science. He's my sentimental love for science, for wanting to do your best. And by the way, he was Chinese. That's why I have to work hard to focus not on genocide, but to focus on deconstructing governments that are unhealthy. So I switch my focus now to let us improve the health of the world leaders that are having difficulties. Let us not exterminate them. How about we value those world leaders? I'm going to have to, otherwise I will be in a state of perpetual war. So if I change my perspective and I look upon the peoples and the governments as being from the same source as me, and I look at my own situation and where I am or where I'm not in life, and I apply my own beliefs to myself, I should be genocided off the planet too. So unless someone is imminently threatening you to end you, don't kill anybody. Like I said, unless someone is imminently threatening you with death because they're physically there attempting to kill you, you don't have to kill them. Not with your bare hands or no, you don't have to. But you should. You should. It'll feel better. Imagine if you allowed somebody to murder you. There you are in the afterlife. Man, I could have been doing this now, but I don't have a body anymore. Maybe I'll go find somebody doing that thing that I like, and then I can vicariously experience that feeling through them. I'll put my energy into them. I'll infuse them with my spirit, and we'll both have fun doing this activity together. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. What do you believe composes all of us? What are your bones made of? Calcium, phosphorus. They're kind of like rocks in a way. Like your teeth, right? Your teeth. Clean those pebbles. Clean those pearly whites. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Molecular mists among all of us. The water, it holds energy. When it floats through the air, it delivers not just to the grass and the trees and the crops and the fruit, it delivers to you and me. Is it raining down pollution or is it raining down positive Ali? Let it rain down positive Ali until your soul is free from hating and genociding as a solution. So then I went to, well, we'll just take out the top 3 in the government. And now we're going full on. Let us identify those that have science and pathology and do an intervention. Get them out of there. Get them a mentor. Let's get them doing some admin. And let's help hail in some fresh perspectives as we do not persecute or vilify those that have come before us and have done their best. So we have to apply that same respect to other people's, even if you don't want to. That's why, because you have to recognize when someone is not doing their best and they decide to, you know what, I'm just not going to respect the fact that we agreed that you were going to be your own sovereign nation and that I was going to leave you alone. I'm just not going to honor that contract anymore. And I'm going to surround your country's borders with 150,000 of my people that are armed and ready to kill you all and maim your civilians and make you never forget to honor Russia. You honor USSR Soviet. You are not Ukraine. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's like New York trying to be the United States, I guess. You know, you can't be your own United States. Texas, you can't. No. Texas, you're not your own entity. You're a part of this land. So in that perspective, now I have a different perspective of Vladimir Putin. Because when people are cold and hungry and they don't have resources because, you're sovereign, but you're not mechanized and you're not able to agriculturalize, that means you got a bunch of hangry, cold people that are likely starting problems. Perhaps if we took the time to focus more on prevention of war, we would have less actual reports of war. What a concept. That's something that might need to, definitely must be encouraged, I believe, in all areas of academia, especially concerning journalism, communications. How about in all communication studies that we remain cognizant of that? That what you focus on, that's what you're going to get. Focusing on a problem, no problem. You will get more data about that problem. Are you focusing on a solution? Okay. Well, the first step is to data collect about the problem. So I see that everybody's been doing that. And what are you doing with that data? You're doing the same thing. You make a new vaccine. And then there's the same response. People die because you've made a new vaccine and now you're having to see what happens because we don't have time. And there's the other factor. Hurry, hurry. Why are you hurrying? Is it because you are not prepared, or is it because you are prepared to deliver an intervention? So there are differences in those agendas that will set up your psyche to perform different accomplishments, functions. So now, in conclusion, just realize you are your own problem and you are your own solution. My way to be my own solution is to recognize, hey, my subjective experience is not comfortable because it does not hand jive, it does not boogie woogie, it is not in congruence with, nor aligning with what I cerebrally know to be right and true and necessary. Therefore, I will focus on the objectives that are right, true, and necessary, while I am aware of this subjective side of me. And I will protect that subjective side of me. Protect yourself. Promise yourself to protect yourself. I'll do better next time. Don't fuss at yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't physically harm yourself. Please don't. If you've had a negative human interaction, a negative earthling experience, please don't let that person's words or lack of words affect how you hear your own self, how you see your own self. When you do that, you have made that person more important than your creator. So again, the value of believing in